Hi there, Dr. Kimberley Wilson from Inspire Physical Therapy. I've had lots of questions, lots of really good questions about the castor oil packs and the practice of using castor oil packs. How long should I be doing it? How often should I be doing it? And for lack of a better way to answer that question, it kind of depends, doesn't it? If you have had a chronic issue, then maybe you need to use it a little bit more often and a little bit longer before you expect to see positive results. And, this is castor oil packs aren't really meant to take away from any traditional treatments for certain diseases. Certainly, it is my belief that you should talk about these things with your healthcare provider that you trust. But this could be a wonderful additional intervention that you could do to help support your body as it's trying to heal. So let's consider a couple of things. If you have issues going to the bathroom, that's a sign that something's not quite right. So constipation, diarrhea, maybe it's irritable bowel or chronic heartburn. Those are gut issues. And I would encourage you not to ignore those things, because if they become chronic, then they can lead to hormone imbalances, autoimmune conditions, and then ultimately chronic diseases and more. So again, make sure that you're discussing all this stuff with your health care provider. But I think that the castor oil practice is a great addition to whatever treatment or intervention that you're already doing. If you're already eating healthy, if you're already maybe you're taking supplements or other lifestyle practices like meditation, mindfulness, maybe dry brushing. I think that's also a great practice too to help your lymphatic system. Then the castor oil packs can make everything that you're already doing work better and faster by engaging the body's natural healing and cleansing mechanisms. There was a study that was performed within a long-term care facility, and what they did is they used castor oil packs to help relieve constipation. And what they found was that it worked just as well as conventional laxatives. But you know how conventional laxatives can have harsh side effects, like you a lot of cramping or rushing to the bathroom because of all the cramping. And castor oil packs did not have that negative side effect, but they work just as well as those laxatives. There is an active ingredient in castor oil. It's called, I'll probably mispronounce this, ricinoleic acid, and that active ingredient is very anti-inflammatory. This ricinoleic acid has a low molecular weight, and so it's able to penetrate very deep into, past the layers of the dermis and all the way into like the level of your organs. So your small intestines, your bowels, your uterus, your ovaries, all the things. It penetrates very deep. But speaking specifically about your small intestines, large intestines, that ricinoleic acid helps to stimulate the prostaglandin receptors, which help that smooth muscle of the uterus and the intestines, so that it can stimulate that, and so that you get better bowel movements. It's kind of like giving a gentle massage to your gut and helps your stools move right along that digestive tract. So one of the things that we often miss is that the benefit of applying that castor oil pack to, let's say you're going to target your liver, it's not to be understated, because I feel like a lot of times we breeze right over it, but putting it there and getting into the position where you're just like, okay, I'm going to put my pack on, that helps to shift your body into a parasympathetic state, that rest and digest, like, okay, I'm going to give myself a little bit of self-care. And that is not, it can't be overstated how important that is. Because in our world today where we're just hustling and bustling, we get stuck in a fight or flight, that sympathetic state. And that's where you're going to be in a state of stress. And that just compounds and adds to the problems that we already have going on, especially when it comes to gut issues. Castor oil packs, they're safe enough. They can be used through the entire life cycle. Absolutely safe enough to use on kids, maybe a smaller amount, but still safe enough to use on kids. The only time you don't want to use them is during pregnancy. Everything else, they are safe and effective, and they're not contraindicated no matter how much medication that you're taking. They don't interact with any medications. If you're using your castor oil pack to support different areas of the body, so say, frozen shoulder, or maybe you have fibroids in your uterus or some fibrotic tissue in your breasts, cysts that you're trying to get to resolve, so thyroid cysts or ovarian cysts, it's always best to, certainly target the location that you're concerned about, but pair that with a pack over your liver as well. So maybe you can alternate. You could do an hour at the liver and maybe overnight, or at least an hour, or maybe even overnight at the other area. So, or you could do both at the same time. So maybe you're targeting your shoulder and your liver at the same time, and you could strap if you have the availability, you can strap those castor oil packs on and sleep in them if they're comfortable enough for you to sleep in. So the minimum amount of time that you want to wear a castor oil pack is 1 hour. Longer is always better, but at least an hour. Overnight is ideal. And, you could potentially use this for a very, very long time. You might, if you're trying to improve a certain condition, you might consider doing it every night for 3 months and then reassess and see where you are. And if you find you're at a good place, but maybe this is a chronic issue that you're dealing with, after that 3 months, you're seeing some benefits, and you could start to taper it off a little bit. So maybe you go for 2 to 3 times a week for a longer duration after that. There's really, there are some, recommended protocols out there, but there's really no wrong way to do it. So don't be afraid to just start and be consistent and see what happens. In one of my previous videos, I demonstrated how to make your own castor oil pack using, a piece of organic flannel, and that there is nothing wrong with doing that, and certainly using what you have and getting started. There can even potentially be some benefit of just rubbing it on and letting it ride. I would argue that maybe it's not quite as good as the pack protocol, but it's better than nothing. So don't be afraid to just try it and see what happens. The one that I demonstrated previously, where you soak the flannel, put it on, you can wrap yourself in plastic to keep it from getting everywhere, all those good things. Sometimes that's referred to as the lazy man's castor oil pack. You just kind of slapping it on there and seeing what happens. But it's kind of nice to have the comfortable packs. So the Queen of Thrones is a very good source to go to for that. They've designed these wonderfully comfortable packs that are so easy to use, and you can strap them on and comfortably sleep in them all night. And then you'll also get that benefit of the feel-good hormones that helps to move you into a relaxed state of rest and digest. So, if you're somebody that's wanting to invest in this for the long haul, that might be a good option for you too. And I'll definitely share the affiliate link for that as well. But the main thing is just to get started and see what happens. There's really no negative. So hope this answers some questions. Talk soon.